you only like target women, or is it like, I mean, I'm just trying to
Do either one of you want to?
I mean, get out her vote. It can emphasize women's health issues or, you know, issues that are affecting women. But really, young women have the lowest voter turnout of the different age groups and demographics of the young vote. So it's just, I mean, that's one thing we can focus on if it's something you're passionate about. But really, you know, women's issues are everyone's issues. If one person's being oppressed, everyone's being oppressed. So it really encompasses everyone, and it can raise awareness for everyone. Everyone needs to vote. So it's just if your heart's in that place, if you're, you know, you can follow it from that platform. But if you want to be more inclusive, you can just get out the vote. It's just really what you prefer, in my opinion.
My other question is for Rachael. You were talking about how you were setting people with goals. What about places that have really, like my college campus, I go to UNF in Jacksonville, and we don't have a co-location on our campus, and the closest one is down the road, and we tried to do like a shuttle thing back in 2012, but no one went because when a couple people went, the lines were so long that they couldn't actually like get back to the class in time. Do you have any recommendations?
Yeah, well, what we did, it was for early voting, so we just had it basically going really constant. We timed exactly how long it would take to get there, approximately how long it would take them to vote, and we just were like, you know, it'll take about 15 minutes. It was not too far away from our campus, so we just, you know, we're really wanted to communicate that it would be really like quick and painless. Like, you can go, we'll bring you back. Election day was when we had the trolley, so I think there were lines, but it was just like, you know, if you really want to vote, you know, you'll do it. And we also did reach out to departments, to teachers, you know, so this is a really important election. We really want to encourage these kids to vote. How, you know, what can you do as teachers, you know, to allow that and accommodate that? So can you, like, excuse them from class, or you let them come in late? And so there were teachers who were really, really supportive of that. So they did, you know, tell their students, okay, if you need to miss class or you need to be late to go vote, that'll be fine. But I mean, it was really just collaborating with a lot of people and just making sure that they knew that, you know, it's okay, it's really important. You know, this is important, you need to do it. So we'll just make it, you know, as easy as we can.
Some of our limitations feel like people will be in line for an hour, even in early vote, because of the way that they cut it down.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, it was a lot of people had to wait for a long time on that election. But
this is for any of you guys as students at your campuses. Can you give any suggestions, maybe based on like examples or things that you guys have done to help encourage students at your campuses to vote? Or maybe if you were tabling for a specific cause, maybe forget out her vote. Like, what were your tactics for encouraging them to listen to what you have to say? Because at my campus, I go to the University of Central Florida, and when we are tabling on market days, everyone is really busy. Everyone's walking to their classes. They don't want to listen to anything anyone has to say because, of course, you know, they have class to get to. But I just want to know any suggestions that you have to get the attention of the students.
I think one thing is you can ask your professors to borrow 5 minutes of class time, and you can register students to stay in class. That's one thing that we've done at Appalachian. It's been really useful. And then they're already in class. They're not trying to get somewhere, and we usually have their attention.
I did the weekly tabling like 2 to 3 times a week during like activity hour, and my biggest goal was to just hand out these 2 things that tell about how to register to vote, why her vote counts, because most people don't have time to hear it, and at least it's like, here, take this, and you know, a lot of times they read it and they can look at it themselves, and it provides a lot of links to learn more about the candidates, and you're happy to have this and look at it if you want. And anybody else who, I can give this template to anyone. It's just like voter fact sheets, voter information.
Oh, and together? Are these
yeah,
separate?
It's 2. I have 1 extra copy too if you want to pass it around. But I can give it out on my emails, just brenna.perez89@gmail. So if anybody wants the templates or any more tips and information about the voter registration tables or anything else that I've done that I can help with, I'd be happy to help you guys.
Could you spell your email, please?
Yeah, okay. Brenna, BRENNA, _Perez latino29@gmail. And I can just give you the template, and you can just plug in your, just change the name of the campus, obviously, but it's all just basic general information about how to register to vote, why her vote counts, and things like that.
I would also say that the other thing, especially when you're trying to target Latinos, you have to be there on a consistent basis. You're not going to register, for the most part, members of our community on your first shot. We're very wary of someone coming around with forms, or in our case, an iPad. We're just very wary, okay, whatever it may be, legitimate or otherwise. You have to build a relationship with people, even if even if you're there for months trying to talk to that same person registered to vote. Maybe that person will eventually vote. They just need to get your trust. So really, this is about capacity building and building for the long haul. Don't really, build your voter registration campaigns for the last minute. In order to be successful at the end, which is where the majority of people will register to vote with you anyway, because that's just how behaviors are of people, they will care more as it gets closer to the election. You have to build a relationship at the beginning. You have to build your capacity at the beginning, so that when that time comes, you'll be ready for it, and you'll be able to process not so much all the forms and all the logistical stuff on the other end, but you're there. You're seen as a legitimate individual organization that's there to helping out the community, and not just this one and done. Oh, they just come, because they want to be here. So that's also important.
And very briefly, we had a lot of success partnering with other organizations and other events, because every campus has its own unique identity. So on our campus, there would be student organizations that would have different events and things like that, and we would approach them and say, hey, do you mind if we set up a voter registration table during your event? And we didn't really care if it was social or not. It could be a party. In some instances on campus, and we would have a voter registration booth right outside. You can go to your SGA and ask if, would it be okay if we partner with any of the events that you're having with the Student Government Association, since their tuition fees are going to this association? And would it be okay if we were to register voters at this event or that event? And another thing that, works well is incentive. Sometimes, we would, have some of our funding partners provide pizza and, snacks and things like that. And yeah, we're here for voter registration, but sometimes they're out looking at the pizza or the potato chips, the bottle of water on a hot day. Hey, what's going on here? Oh, this voter registration. Here you go. Please decide to vote. And things like that work. And it's easier to go to the students than to try to make them come to you. Because it's like, it's very, very difficult standing out on the yard on your campus on a hot day when people have to go to class, they have, tests, midterms, homework, you name it. And you're just standing there like, okay, it's easy to walk past you. But when you go to where they are, just like she mentioned, with going to your professors and to your departments, do your best to go to where the students already are in large numbers, and that'll make it a lot easier.